Welcome back, guys, to the channel Journey with G Poppy on YouTube. Um, so today I want to talk to you about Bible prophecy. Uh, there are two categories of Bible prophecy, and this prophecy that we're going to talk about today was written by an Old Testament prophet by the name of Daniel. So there are two categories of Bible prophecy. One is prophecies that have already been fulfilled, and the other is prophecies that will be fulfilled in the future. So the prophet Daniel was a prophet between 605 BC and 536 BC. He was under the he was on the staff. I'm sorry. Of the three kings. So Nebuchadnezzar was one, then his son Belshazzar, and then under Darius the Mede. So this was unheard of in those days. Like when a king took over a kingdom, normally they would execute everyone that was on the staff of the former king because they didn't want to take a chance that they wouldn't have allegiance to that king. So obviously today, things are quite different than that. But so anyway, Daniel he served under these three kings, these three world leaders, right? Um, and he wrote about shared with him about a world ruler that would come and conquer, and you may have heard of him. His name was Alexander the Great, and it doesn't specifically spell out Alexander the Great's name, right? But it does, and I'll read it to you here shortly. But Alexander began his rule in 336 BC at the age of 20. He took over from his father Philip. He ruled for 12 years and he conquered the known world in that short amount of time. And then he died at the age of 32 suddenly. And then his kingdom was divided amongst four of his generals. So I'll read the passage to you and try to explain a little bit about what it means. So I saw the ram. It's Daniel chapter 8, verses 4 through 8. If you want to follow along. So I saw the ram pushing westward, northward, and southward, so that no animal could withstand him, nor was there any that could deliver from his hand. But he did according to his will, and he became great. And the ram that it was referring to in that passage was explained in verse 20, and it's Media and Persia, okay, which former modern day Iran. And then in verse 5, and as I was considering, suddenly a male goat came from the west across the surface of the whole earth, without touching the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And this is talking about Alexander the Great. Then he came to the ram that had two horns, which was Media and Persia, which I had seen standing beside the river, and ran at him with furious power. And I saw him conquering the ram. He was moved with rage against him. He attacked the ram and broke his two horns. There was no power in the ram to withstand him, but he cast him down to the ground and trampled him. And there was no one that could deliver the ram from his hand. Therefore, the male goat, talking about Alexander the Great, grew very great. But when he became strong, the large horn was broken. So when the kingdom of Alexander the Great, Greece, right, became strong, the horn, who was the leader, Alexander the Great, was broken, which meant he died. Okay. And in place of it, four notable ones came up to the four winds of heaven. So those four notable horns that came up after Alexander the Great died were his four generals. And if you look in the history books of the world, you'll see that very thing happened. So this was written more than at least 200 years before it happened. So there are things. So that's two Bible prophecies. Well, actually, several Bible prophecies. One, he became great. Two, he conquered the world. Um, Three, he died, and then four of his generals took over after he died. So, some people may think, it's simply a coincidence. But if you read on in that chapter in the book of Daniel, it explains about Greece and Persia and Iran, or yeah, Iran rather. It calls it Persia, but Iran, obviously modern day Iran. So hopefully that will help. And Bible scholars have said that more than 10,000 Bible prophecies from the Old Testament have already been fulfilled exactly as they were written. And there are more, that still have not been fulfilled yet. So as I mentioned, there's two categories: Bible prophecies that have been fulfilled and Bible prophecies that will be fulfilled in the future. So fulfilled and future, that's the two types of Bible prophecy. And so I hope to share more about some Bible prophecies that have occurred or have been fulfilled, and then others that are yet to be fulfilled in the future. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Journey with G Poppy on YouTube, and I hope you have a great day.